surrounded by Kerala players here. Now is the goal going to stand? Well, this is a real controversial moment here. The goal's been given, I think. Well, Crystal John surrounded by Blasters players. Igor Vukovic is on the pitch here calling these players off. Bruno Ramirez is getting involved. Simon Grayson and Ivan Vukovic are both getting involved.
And here's what they're angry about. Sunil Chetri, are they ready? Luna doesn't get in the way of the ball. And I think that's a legitimate goal because you have every right to play that free kick quickly.
Whether they'd ask Crystal John if they've got to wait for the whistle, that seems to be the problem.
I think Vukovic is rethinking what's happening here because you can't leave your team with another half of extra time still to play. The fans want to see more. They deserve more from their leader. I don't see the benefit of what Vukovic is doing here.
Well, it's such a shame because the game had been a fantastic advert for the Hero Indian Super League.
He is back, and that is the headline before the game. What will be the headline after 90 minutes? Vukomanovic returns back for Kerala Blasters on the touchline along with the rest of the stars in yellow. And they will take on Sergio Lobera's Odisha. It is a massive game. This is Let's Football. I've got Siju and Eric with me. Siju, your feelings before this one?
It's Friday night football in Kochi. It's raining and Ivan is back and the fans are there since 4 p.m. I think, what do I'm feeling? I think the fans are buzzed about it. And I think we are starting with the man talking to us in some time, right?
The fans are waiting since 4 p.m. of course, and they will brave anything for Ivan Vukomanovic. A limitless love. But we have a game as well. And Eric Patlu is having a chat with Vukomanovic about the football on show tonight. Here we go.
Ivan, you've served your 10-match ban for walking off the pitch last season. In that time, you've had to sit and watch a lot of football. Did you learn any lessons from the time you had away from the touchline?
Well, you know, of course, because it's always better to be in your box, you know, in front of your bench with the team. That's for sure. On the other side, you know, of course, I use that time to watch so many games around Europe on the highest level, you know, enjoying the new moments, enjoying the new things in the football. Like it's the, let's say, industry that evolves all the time. So, of course, enjoying in the football, not enjoying for not being with the team. But at the end, I'm here. So let's continue.
Frank Darwin did a good job in your absence, along with your coaching staff, to get within touching distance at the top of the table tonight. He's suspended for this one. Pravidas Drincic suspended. Would you say the club as a whole has a disciplinary issue, or have the players lacked a leader out there to sort of calm things down on the pitch?
No, but let's say that we are still in a momentum of finding many new things within the team, because so many new faces, so many new players arrived at the end of the pre-season, and of course everybody has to fit in it. And you know, new games, the season starting, some old faces missing due to injuries, the new faces stepping in to find their spot. So of course it brings many things that in certain games you cannot control. But anyway, that's the way it is, you know, that's the football. So now they are serving also the suspensions, and there are other boys and especially youngsters who have to step up and show the quality. So that's it.
Have you liked what you've seen so far from the group of players this season? Has anyone surprised you and stood up?
Yeah, of course, many of them. You know, many of them, certainly youngsters who are so eager to prove themselves, not only in the games but in the training sessions. It's really a pleasure to see them improving. Some of them were spending their time in the pre-season in Europe as well with some European clubs, you know, and it's joy and pleasure to see them growing up in the past 2 years from our youth ranks to the first squad and now taking responsibility. And as a coach, you know, it's a pleasure seeing them growing up, you know, becoming stronger and more important for the team. So let's hope that they will continue like that.
Well, when the fixture list came out The Manyapara must have sat down and figured this one out very early. This is the game in which the coach would return. Straight batting, some answers over there. Eric, did you get what you wanted from him?
I didn't, I don't think. He's very professional, Ivan Vukomanovic. I was expecting those sorts of responses, but at least he addressed some of the questions that I wanted to ask. And, you know, he wants to move on with the football, and so do we. But we cannot forget what took place last season. But social media is rife at the moment, and always is with the Kerala Blasters. And there's been some positive comment, but there's been also some negative comments as well.
Well, talking about negative comments tonight, it's all positivity, guys. It's Team in Yellow out there in the big numbers. But I hope we don't forget, amidst all this buzz, there's a match to be played, 3 points to be won. It's a big one, right? Now, this bit, yes, it kind of put all football fans off. I hope he stays at the touchline this time and doesn't walk off.
It was a bit of a cliffhanger, and I think the only thing is leaving football fans on a cliffhanger because we will never know what could have happened, and that's the only thing. But Ivan Vukomanovic will now be looking forward. New season, new challenges, and up against him, without some very, very good players, Sergio Lobera's Odisha. Can Vukomanovic revive them? 91% say yes, but no surprises there.
No surprises there, but I don't think if this happened at another club in the competition or around the world, they would have stuck with Ivan. It would have been a ban and possibly removal of the coach. It just shows you how much they love him and how much they trust him. They will walk off a cliff if he walks off the cliff first.
Protected by the Yellow Sea, Ivan Vukomanovic, but couldn't have been a better head coach as well to take on. However, he's got a lot of players missing, the likes of Geekson, the likes of Drincic as well, and that means this is the team he picks. Sachin and obviously some Hormipam, Vibin, a lot of young Indian stars in there as well.
I think we've been saying one thing about KBF since the start is that the youngsters, right? The ones who've been come from the camp or the reserve teams and now to the senior team. I think even Ivan spoke about it. So I'm sure in this time that he was away, he had good homework done on these players and they've only stepped up especially the missing players.
I'm looking at emotional control, and there's only one player that I have a doubt over tonight. That's that number 7, Raul KP. Could have been sent off in the last fixture, but in terms of discipline, they have to get it right because over the course of the season, you cannot lose players through injury or suspension, and for too many times, you cannot get red cards and being banned for things, and they've already lost Jackson now for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, and they've had to replace him with the likes of Vibin, who has in fact done pretty okay, but even a chance for young Naucha Iban. We wish him a very speedy recovery. His knee is gone, surgery as well done, but a lot of Indian talent now being replaced by more Indian talent, and Vukomanovic usually gets that right. He's okay with taking a risk, putting in a 20-year-old.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying, right? We just mentioned about it, and I think, like you mentioned, Vibin is not doing that bad, and I think this is a time where the youngsters get a time to shine through, and also probably a possible knock on the door of the national team. Now, you know what? The fans of Kerala Blasters may be a little happy today, apart from the fact that Ivan is back, because Royston Griffith also gets a 1-match suspension.
Yeah, how does that work? You know, 1-match ban for, violent conduct. Is it one rule for one and one rule for everyone else? I'm sure the Kerala Blasters fans are not happy about that one.
Some players have to deliver. Hormipam has to step up, of course, and very easy to spot now on the pitch. Vibin, who's done very well, he's got a great right foot. But even the likes of Rahul, as you mentioned earlier, he has to step up. And on the pitch, though, there is one leader. And a lot was made of the deal when Sahal went the other way. But bringing Pritham Kotal in, all-Indian backline, senior-most player in there. You've watched a lot of Pritham through the years. One of the most consistent Indians, isn't he?
Absolutely. I think that's exactly why Kerala Blasters wanted him on the side, right? And he has to step up in certain situations, especially. But here we are.
Speaking with Pritham Kotal.
प्रीतम, गुड टू सी यू. ईवान की वापसी आज डगआउट में होगी, वो टीम के लिए कितना इंपॉर्टेंस रखेंगे आज?
बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है हम लोग के लिए कोच, बिकॉज आपको पता है कि जब कोच बाहर रहता है तो प्लेयर का मोटिवेशन लेवल अलग ही रहता है. और वो लास्ट 2-3 मैच में हम लोग डूरंट से स्टार्ट किया तो उसको मिस किया था, और अभी वो आया तो एक अलग मोटिवेशन है, पूरा टीम का फीलिंग अलग है, तो हम लोग कुछ अच्छा ही कोशिश करेगा। और आज उसके लिए 3 पॉइंट फर्स्ट मैच उसका ISL का ISL में, तो 3 पॉइंट लेके ग्राउंड छोड़ने का कोशिश करेंगे।
प्रीतम, अगर एक्साइटमेंट की बात करें और एक्सपीरियंस की बात करें, आप सबसे एक्सपीरियंस्ड सेंटर बैक होंगे आज एक ऑल इंडियन डिफेंस में। आपका रोल उस डिफेंस में कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है?
नहीं, रोल तो सभी का इम्पोर्टेंट है टीम में, और एज ए आप बोलो तो कि एक्सपीरियंस आप बोल रहे हो, तो इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि देखो अभी जो हम लोग लास्ट 2 मैच में, लास्ट मैच में हम लोग टोटली पूरा डिफरेंट डिफेंडर्स खेला, लाइक 3 प्लेयर नहीं था हम लोग का डिफेंडिंग पार्ट में। तो ये प्रैक्टिस में जब मैं प्रैक्टिस करता हूँ, जो लोग खेलता है उसके साथ बहुत ही बात करता हूँ कि जितना सिंपल रख सकता हूँ हम लोग डिफेंडर्स उतना अच्छा है, और ट्राई करता हूँ कि क्लीन सीट रखने का पीछे, तो क्योंकि आगे भी कॉन्फिडेंस मिले। तो यही मेरा रोल रहता है कि सबके साथ बात करना, सबको कॉन्फिडेंस देना, और जितना हो सके एज ए डिफेंडर सिंपल चीज़ करना ग्राउंड पे।
Got carried away a little bit there, but that was Preetham Kotal, and also a fresh voice to hear. I mean, he's playing for Kerala, but we had his interview in Hindi. Robin Singh doing a good job there. As I was talking about, experience is exactly why we want him on the team, why they want him on the team. But I think this man has surprised us all with his banger goals. We talk about Parthib and the likes, but Danish has really stepped up, right?
Yeah, and Vukomanovic, we're very pleased with his involvement because he has to be this box-to-box midfielder. Jinkson was a holder, he was a sitter, he was a destroyer. Now you've got Vibin in there helping him out, who has got legs. But Danish Farouk, the first thing you need as a box-to-box midfielder is an engine, and it's also a brain. A brain to get in there in the moments where they don't expect you. And from set pieces as well, he's not being picked up because everyone thinks he's not that tall, but he's actually quite tall and good in the air.
It's been quite the journey for him. From a right winger at Real Kashmir, he was tested as a striker, and then they tried him at number 10, and now finally a box-to-box, a proper number 8, and he's getting the goals. You've got to feel happy for this player from Kashmir.
We often talk about road trips and bike trips from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. He's literally done from Kashmir to Kerala now.
Great numbers as well. And first choice in the midfield is added a lot of bite, and this is an observation. Number 8, number 6, the midfielders get better under Vukomanovic because he was one as well.
Yes, if you want to play for the Kerala Blasters, you have to handle every second week playing in front of that crowd. And I look at Danish Farouk, nothing phases him. He's got a great head on his shoulders. He doesn't get over anxious. If he makes a mistake, he gets on with it. He is a proper footballer.
Guys, let's talk about the man on the other side. It's done with KBFC, but we have an opponent here as well, and he goes by the name Sergio Lobera, who knows what it is to win trophies, and he's coming into this game after a big win in the AFC Cup match.
Yeah, 6-1, an amateur who was absolutely having fun in that game. The thing is with Sergio Lobera, slightly more unassuming, doesn't really like the spotlight, but he can work his magic. What he does on the tactical board, so different compared to Vukomanovic's more 4-4-2, direct, exciting style.
Hasn't lost in Kochi as well, and most of those results were with FC Goa. Let's not forget Mumbai was in the bubble season, but for him coming down, this is the game that he would love to play in. No one's really talking about him or his side, but he's got it in the locker.
Well, Sergio Lobera and Murtada Fall spoke with us before the game.
Sergio, you had a big win midweek in the AFC Cup with all the games that you're playing at the moment. Is that helping the team get into a groove and a rhythm, maybe perhaps more than the other ISL teams?
Yeah, I think in football we need to live in the present. This is the past, but obviously we are going to play against a very good team. It's a different environment, different game, but we are ready. We are ready because we are growing. I think every day. I am very proud of my players. We are working well in ISL competitions. We compete in the last 3 games very well. We lost 2 points in the last 2 minutes against Mumbai City and 1 point in the last 2 minutes against FC Goa. But I am proud of my players. I think we are building a very good team, and I am happy with the work they are doing and ready for this challenge. It's a big challenge today to play against Kerala, but we are ready.
There's a lot of hype around the game tonight, and in particular with Ivan's return. As a coach, has it ever crossed your mind to walk a team off the pitch when things didn't go your way?
Yeah, and we are preparing the game thinking in ourselves. No, we know the potential of the opponent team. We know Ivan is a very good coach. He is coming back now. I think it's good for everyone to have him in the bench.
Matata, you're already Odisha's top goal scorer in all competitions, and in total 19 goals in the ISL. Come on, that's just unfair. What's your secret, big man?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of work behind, and I think is that if defender can score goals to help the team is important also, because sometimes the strikers, they don't find a lot of space. Sometimes tight game, very difficult game. So if defender can come for set pieces to help the team, I think is very important, because if you want to go forward and win the league, almost, of course, you need everyone need to be focused defender. Everyone need to score goals, because they have some kinds of games, no lot of chances. Maybe one set pieces can help you to win the game and take the point.
You've played many times here in Kochi. The atmosphere tonight will be at an all-time high. It doesn't get any more difficult than this in the competition. What's the key here tonight for your team? How do you handle the crowd?
Yeah, it will be a difficult game, because they play in front of their fans. Fans, they support them. They come full stadium. But for us, it's good for us also to motivate us to show we can play in front of fans also. And I think pressure for them, not for us, because if you play in front, then your fans, you need to do more, because the fans, they wait for you to do more. And for us is a good opportunity to reach well the game and be calm and focus on ourselves. And I think is if you score the first goal or something, it will be a different game.
Keep scoring goals, big man. All the best tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
They scored a couple in the AFC Cup as well. Scored a couple in the previous game. Incredible numbers for Murtada Fall. 19 in the ISL. More than 100 appearances now. Also gets a lot of blocks. In Pritham Kotal probably will be marking him, and he's got a job in his hand.
Well, I'm glad I'm not playing anymore, because I had to mark him all the time, and sometimes we put two on him and you just couldn't stop him. At the back post, if he gets a run, he runs, he out jumps it, but he's got a massive size to his head as well. His head is just a magnet to absolutely everything.
It's just getting those goals, right? And I thought this was the first time he scored by the foot, because that's how many times this man has scored with his head. You mentioned about Pritham. Can he jump higher than fall? I hope he doesn't fall.
Yeah, it's a tough one. But if there is one player who can do it, it is Pritham, given the experience. You don't always have to jump that high. It's also about timing, isn't it? What do you do against Murtada Fall?
You've just got to get close to him and stay there. Their Karma Q's not even watching where the ball's going. So that's really unlike Karma Q. But with Murtada Fall, he loves to go to the back post and get a run up on you. You've got to just try and close his space down, get touch tight so you can feel where he's moving. And then if it's a perfect ball and he out jumps you, which this man can deliver, you got no chance.
Yeah, we are sometimes unfair to the big men. We talk about their size and power, but a lot of cleverness in there in his movement, in Murtada Fall's movement. Jahu, who had a great game in the AFC Cup as well, and he's just slotted into that Odisha lineup. First name, of course, on the team sheet. I love saying that. But with Sergio Lobera bringing him in, once again, bossing the middle of the park.
Like you mentioned about cleverness, this man is the one that plays with his head. We often talk about football as a mind game, played with your brain and a bit of touches with your foot. I think I'm quoting a player, I don't get the name. But Ahmed Jahu has done that. I've had the privilege to watch him live when he was in Mumbai. It's a treat to watch him. Sometimes you feel he's walking in the park, but that's his park. And can he make Kochi that his park?
Yeah, lovely language style as well of how he hits the ball. There's a stylistic way to how he plays. He has fun, and alongside him, though, he's got a lot of urgent players, the likes of Putea, who have played in Kochi. That experience is important as well.
Well, this guy, Putea, he almost got himself a goal in the AFC Cup. It was given to him at the start, but he's had a more advanced role this season, playing a little bit further forward. And the likes of him and Sai Goddard, watch them kind of rotate and get in amongst Jahu to get those little passes and lay it back for him. But he returns to the Kerala Blasters, where he was so effective with Jeekson.
Yeah, very effective in that double pivot and also slightly more offensive in the way he played. Sergio Lobera it's an interesting selection as well from Lobera. He's got a few young players in there, the likes of Isak Ralte and also Aniket Jadhav. So these are two players down the wings, but this player, he's exciting. The goals he scores, very nice. We talk about Parthe, we talk about Aniket, we have all these players, but Isak Ralte can grow under Lobera.
I think we speak about Ivan and how he's upped the youngster squad, right? I think Lobera also, and we've seen him from the FC Goa days. He does have a mix of the senior guys that he travels with, but then he also ups players like Isak, and we've also seen how Jahu and Changte have done well. It's a great combination here as well.
If Lobera doesn't sign at Odisha, the likes of Fal, Jahu, maybe even Mauricio don't stick around. So that's the Lobera sort of pull, bringing these players in with experience that he knows he can trust. And the guys out wide are still yet to sort of, give him something. Jada, Ralte, they're just starting.
Haven't really seen any interesting numbers, but 5 of the 6 goals scored by Odisha in that AFC Cup game came from the defense line. And that's scary. The only the only attacker who scored was Isak Ralte. Lovely bob of the ball and then smashed it in. But goals in the back line always make a head coach feel safer.
Absolutely. And, in terms of the front line, I'm looking at the Krishna Mauricio discussion. It's still going on for Lobera. And Mauricio slightly younger than Roy Krishna and slightly more effective the last 12 months or so, but he gets a start tonight in front of Roy Krishna.
I spoke to some of the fans, and one of them I spoke to, and I asked him, what is it like, to see your team play? It's a Lobera effect happening at Odisha. He mentioned that we may not play good football or whatever, but we have big names, and if tonight is a big game, these big names should come up and play and perform. So the fans are expecting nothing less than 3 points tonight.
Yeah, there is a Lobera factor. You mentioned another story as well about someone who was running all the way to, was it Vizag, and then unfurled an Odisha banner?
Yeah, there's a fan who was going for a marathon run. We don't see this often, we see other flags, but he kind of unfurled the Odisha banner, which is pretty good. And well, most on players, I don't see a surprise there with both of them, Luna and Fall, but I think Luna has not been scoring goals enough now.
I think I had to sell Fall. I'm not too sure. I got rid of him a couple of weeks ago. But Luna, he's firmly my captain tonight. What about you, Pulla?
No, my captain is Pereira Diaz, but I have Murtada Fall in there. I've got Luna as well, so it's a bit of a tough one. But what a battle, not just in fantasy, but even on the pitch. Imagine this man trying to get the better of the other.
Absolutely. Like I said in the start, it's a perfect night on Friday for Kochi. Rains, players like these. I hope there are goals because match week 5 has been a bit of a dud, to be honest.
The Kerala Blasters, this game included, is number 5. 4 of them at home. You could not have asked for a better start for their season. This is where you can watch all the action unfold. And as we said, it's raining in Kochi. It adds that little bit more of drama. It's going to be one hell of a night.
Well, Odisha have conceded at least 1 goal in 17 straight away games. Sergio Lobera is not one for clean sheets, but thankfully, especially for match week 5, he's all about goals.
Well, they also have a chance to come on the top half of the table, and that's what the fans are looking forward to. But I think both the set of fans and all of us here, we need goals. We need a lot of fun and a buzz. You don't mind some cards, though?
Yeah, we want some drama, absolutely. But the motivation is Diamantakos on the bench to come in. They know a 3-0 win tonight, they go top of the table. And even Vukomanovic is his first game back.
Unbelievable. Imagine the scenes in Kochi if they go top of the table.
Well, you definitely won a lot of hearts from the KBFC fans saying that 3-0. But tonight, here's the big one. Friday night showdown in Kochi.